Hello and welcome to our show, Two Gents and Two Cents. This is our first episode. My name is Cameron, aka Fappy Moon, here with my lifelong best friend, Mark the Betting Shark, and we're gonna talk about some football here. Got NFL Sunday coming up, recapping Thursday night game, and gonna talk about some prop bets, pick some games, talk about the biggest news in football, injuries, reports, and have a little fun here. Hope you enjoy. What do you got?
Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you, Cameron. Fathy Moon. So today we're going to cover all the major news stories. We're going to go over all the very important things you need to know if you're betting this week, things to keep in mind the news may not have told you about. So let's get into it. Some of this week's hottest stories that everyone should know about is Trayvon Diggs out for week 7 after concussion related incident. Cameron, did you see where that happened?
I actually did not. I did not hear about that until this morning.
I'll give you a hint. It didn't happen on the field.
That's never a good sign. What are the details?
So the details are still coming out, but I can tell you it's a mystery accident at home. I think somebody was trying to
Mystery?
move a
That's how it
desk.
was reported. A mystery?
That's how it was reported.
Oh, what are we calling Scooby Doo?
So we'll dig into that some more as we get further into the show. Everyone needs to watch out for this. Puka Nakua ruled out for the Los Angeles Rams London game. Big hit.
Huge loss for them. Humongous.
Another stat
Has it
line.
been reported how long he is potentially going to be out for?
So far, it's just ruling him out for this game.
Could be something. They don't want to linger and maybe not want to send him to London. That field there is notorious for adding.
Is this the field that also just got Justin Fields like -10 pass yards?
That it is. Yes.
That's
Same
pretty
field.
awesome.
Very slow field.
Off, I think you could have got at least -5 pass yards out of that game.
Well, they're net yards, but yeah, I mean, you get sacked for more yards than you pass for in totality. It's atrocious. Justin Fields. So as you can see in the background here, avid Steelers fan right here. Um, he was just okay for us, and this is exactly why Mike Tomlin said, we're not going to give you all that money that you can go get in New York because you're not worth it. He's not an accurate thrower of the football. He's a running quarterback
You
first and
know, I
foremost. I mean,
I will always disagree it. It's kind of like the Daniel Jones thing, right? Like Daniel Jones got scrapped away. A lot of talent. I think Fields the same way. A lot of raw talent. I just don't think he's had a team around him. I mean, even this offseason, the Steelers picked up a lot of big names. You got Metcalf, you got Rodgers, right? You still have Watt. You got a lot of big players. I think you guys just have a better built team ready for Jones or Rodgers. We're gonna blooper that out.
yeah, I mean, I definitely think, as a quarterback in the league, you're more of a product of your environment than anything else. A lot of these guys to get to the NFL are studs. Uh, yeah, Pittsburgh is a solid organization, top to bottom. There's a lot of structure there. I think that's why they're, over the years they've been able to win with Duck Hodges at quarterback and Mason Rudolph going to a playoff game.
Yeah, that was
So yeah,
awesome.
Justin Fields is going to look
Big
a
hit.
lot better in that environment than he will with the
Yeah.
Jets.
Well, I mean, he went 3-0. I still don't understand what happened there, right? He went 3-0. You guys
Four and
made
two
that
or four and
4.
one or yeah,
I thought
four
you
and
guys
one.
benched him pretty quickly and then put Wilson in over him.
Benched him right after the Colts game that we lost. He lost
Yeah.
one game, and
I
then
was there for that. That was
they put
awesome.
Russell in, which he
Got beat.
did
Let's
have
just call
a
it
few nice drives, but
let's call it for what it is. During that game, who took you out? Do you remember the quarterback that took you out that game?
like Garner Minshew or some shit.
It was Flacco, baby.
Flacco. See, there you go.
You guys
Bane
are
of the
allergic.
Steelers' existence. That dude just destroys us every time he plays
So
us.
let's finish this part here. Chris Jones continues to dominate on defense, even if he likes to stand there while he picks his nose
Yeah.
and let Trevor Lawrence fall 10 times before making it into the end zone. Las Vegas Raiders show defensive improvement, but offense still inconsistent. Raiders are carried by Max Crosby, and then
Carroll
all you
might be on the
all
hot seat.
yeah, I know he's going to come to the Colts.
Ew, you
Rasheed
want that.
Rice, Chiefs Kingdom. Rasheed Rice is back. after what he do? Kick a fat kid in Kmart? What was he suspended for? He wasn't hurt. Let's clear that up. He was
Yeah,
suspended.
I thought it was domestic, but that's purely just a guess, purely based on the rest of their team. All of those domestics. Yeah, the Chiefs are full of
Watch out, Taylor.
yeah, watch out for real. Gotta be swift. Gotta be vigilant.
That was good. She's got to be swift.
Does. Gotta duck and dodge.
So again, guys, we will get into these top stories later down in the episode, but these are some things to pay attention to as we move in. We'll move
Definitely,
right along.
definitely formulates into our picks that you'll see coming forward.
Yeah,
Injuries are a big part of things, but we're starting to get into the meat and the potatoes of the NFL season. The next like 3 or 4 weeks are really going to determine, positioning, trying to get into the playoffs.
Colts are going to be number 1 seed and win the Super Bowl this year.
We'll see. We'll see.
I had somebody speak some negativity into existence. Can't remember which talking head it was, but they said, this reminds me a lot of the Vikings last year.
Yeah.
With Sam Darnold, and that's not a good thing because Sam Darnold, they did great, and then they choked at the end of the year. They went 13-0, didn't they?
Well, they lost 2 games, I think. They lost to the Lions at the end, and they lost. Might have been the Lions twice, actually. I think
Lions
they
were
only
better.
lost 2 games. You might have to look into that to verify. I so the similarities there, I feel like, are just Darnold to Jones. It is a quarterback that before the season started, we didn't have a lot of stock in. So you're just thinking at some point this train's gonna wreck and he's gonna choke, which Darnold did in the playoffs. He played terrible that one playoff game. Awful.
I think that it draws a better parallel
I think it's a
to
little
Belichick
different.
recycling Tom Brady to the Buccaneers, and then Tom Brady going from a loser, a zero on the Patriots, to a hero in Buccaneers land in the first
Hold
year.
your horses.
He's the next goat. He's
Hold
being
your
Daniel
horses.
Jones.
You cannot compare him to Thomas Brady. Okay.
You're right. You're right. I haven't seen him cry. I haven't seen him cry once yet. So you're right. You can't compare him. It's not apples to apples.
There's nobody living. There's not even a baby that's born yet that can be Thomas Brady yet. We have Mahomes still has 10 years before
Wait
he
a
can
minute.
be
Wait a
Brady.
minute. Brady lost to both Mannings, and who is Eli? Like, he lost to Eli Manning
Twice. He didn't
twice.
lose Peyton though.
Yeah, he did. Well,
Not
not
in
in
the
the
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl.
Not in the Super Bowl. He lost plenty of times in regular
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. But if you
So,
have more rings than any one team, like he has 7 Super Bowls, the most any team has, Pittsburgh, is 6. Tied
I
with
just,
tied
I
with New
just,
England.
threw up a little bit. How many rings do the Chiefs have now?
I think Pat's only won 3, hadn't he? And
I
they
feel
didn't
like
win one with Joe Montana. Super Bowls. I'm gonna guess 3. 4. They got one in 1970. I don't know who the
pre-love
hell was
era.
playing there in 1970. And Dawson.
So let's move on into the bet slip. Let's get what people want to hear. Bet slip. I don't think we need to talk about your Steelers choking on Thursday night to the Bengals.
Don't call it choking. I called this all week long. Mike Tomlin called out Andrew Berry, the GM of the Browns, saying, hey, this
Great
guy
trade.
must be smarter than me.
Great self-sabotage.
Might be smarter than me. Must be. Only a Super Bowl MVP, the guy that you made your week 1 starter. Yeah, let's push him over to a division opponent that needs a quarterback. The most loser trade of all time. Cleveland's dumpster fire. They just always have it. No, basically like
It
the
puts urine.
Jets. They can't do anything right.
No. Well, and it's such a big deal that I don't know if you've seen um brain fart. I'm gonna bleep this out as soon as I can remember
Loop
his
you,
damn name. Golly. Burrow.
Joe.
Joe Burrow. Joey Burrow looks like an emo kid in high school. He is so depressed. His hair's over his eyes.
Yeah, he
Looks
can't
like he's
decide what
listening to
hairstyle he wants. Every year it's
listening to
something different. I still think
Doctor
it's
in with
better than
3 days
that
grace.
that stupid blonde hair he dyed last year. He made him look like
Ellen
what's that?
DeGeneres.
No, the well that too, but the I was thinking of Cody Rhodes, the wrestler. He looked
But
exactly like
yeah,
Cody
no, you're
Rhodes.
right. You're right. Yeah, if Ellen DeGeneres and Cody Rhodes had a baby.
Yeah.
So I'll put it on the record. I was wrong. I took the Steelers money line there. I didn't like the spread. The spread was ugly. Figured they'd be able to squeak it out. So this week I'm starting out 0-1.
I did not make a official bet on the game, but I will take credit for even though I'm a Pittsburgh fan, I would have never that's why I didn't make official bet because I would never bet against my own team. But I called Cincinnati at least covering. I thought they would actually win because Flacco. He just Mike Tomlin 2-9, now 2-10 on Thursday night, and has not won a single Thursday night game on the road in division his entire coaching career. He's not won one. So he's terrible on the Thursday night games, really great on the Monday night. They looked slow coming out. The defense couldn't stop a cold. I mean, they weren't trying to pressure Flacco at all. They weren't running any blitzes.
It
They
was the
were
Madden
playing scared. They
strategy.
were like he's Tom Brady. They were just like running four rush drop zones, letting them take dink and dunk, and none of our corners could guard T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. It was bloodbath. Super happy with Aaron Rodgers, and the offense did. And I think that will carry us. We've got a lot of tough games coming up, but defense is getting paid like $200 million. They got to figure it
Highest paid
out.
defense in the league.
4 years in a row.
Made Flacco look like, dare I say it? Dare I
Super Bowl
say it?
MVP again.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. That's the no what how they were playing him on the defense is how they would play Tom Brady. Super scared. And
He
they got darted. I mean, there's Chase Brown. Do you see how many yards per carry he had?
he looked good. He looked
He
good. Couldn't
had
catch it. Couldn't catch
nine.
the ball.
No, he couldn't catch.
Couldn't
There
catch.
there are a lot of drops. But he
Nope.
had 9.8 yards per carry per rush. That's a first down almost per rush. That
Because
is
they had a
insanity.
triple team Jamar Chase, man. There's nobody there to cover the runs.
Yeah, so that was, we're still 4-2, still leading the division. But that was one of those hinge games where try to make enough space in between you and the other guys and make them think they're dead. And you're able to
Or
lose these games against Green Bay and the Chargers and the Lions. I mean, they have a really tough schedule coming up. So we got to bunker down. Hell of a game, though. The Unk Bowl did not disappoint. It was a lot of fireworks. So it was a fun watch, even though I wish we would have won. But yeah, it's crazy that they get that long touchdown and instantly as Fryermuth gets in the end zone, I'm like, ah, we lost. Too much time. They scored on 6 straight possessions. So, they had, I think, 2 timeouts and still the 2-minute warning. I'm like, all I need is a field goal, you know, and how the new kickoff rule works now. If they get a touchback and they're on the 35 with the new K balls that kickers are able to use, you get one first down, you're in field goal range already now. Um, yeah, needed
not
to
the Colts.
probably slide down there like T. Higgins did, but it's one of those weird calls. I think Pittsburgh's always gonna believe in their defense. I don't think they would ever slide down there, but yeah, got. So let's
Happens. On the record, let's point out Chase Brown, I believe, had negative receiving yards ending that game.
yeah.
Who are you taking? Rams, Jaguars, -3.5 for the Rams.
Yeah, -3.5. It looks like it opened at -3.5, so the line has not moved at all, which either means there's money on both sides or there's not a lot of money on it at all.
This game stinks. I
Yeah,
wouldn't take it.
it stinks. London games are always sort of up in the air, kind of like your Thursday night games, sort of anything can happen. With this spread the way it is and it not moving, I'm going to take Jacksonville +3.5. No Puka Nakua.
Yeah, no
The
Puka.
offensive line has been solid, not great, but good enough for Matt Stafford to be able to throw the ball around the yard. They don't run the ball a lot. They like to throw the ball. The one thing that Jacksonville's defense has been really good at this year has been getting pressure on the quarterback. So if they're going to let them pin their ears back and use that D line and maybe one or two blitzers from the linebacking core. I could see a good amount of sacks here. Uh, with that being said, if the Jacksonville Jaguars do end up covering, I would probably also like the under 44 and a half. It's probably, I'm thinking like 23-17,
I
20
like
to
the I like
14.
the under here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Rams here, minus 3.5.
Okay.
Because they don't have Puka, but they do have Devontae.
They did
They do have Devontae. And they also have Matt Stafford, who's an absolute dog.
one of the best quarterbacks in the league currently, and honestly, you know, one of the best throwers of the ball of all time. You hear a lot of guys say if they're watching film on anybody or wanting to watch practice, they're watching Matt Stafford because he's a he's a guru. But yeah, you have an offensive minded head coach like Sean McVay. Usually, you would say, hey, he can get around pretty much anything. With that being said, they didn't really put away the Ravens like they should have last week. They won by 14 points, but they only scored 17. And if it wasn't for the turnovers and Cooper Rush playing quarterback, that game could have looked really ugly. I think if Lamar plays, they probably lose. And
I
then,
think they do.
the week before that,
Arguably, they lose to the Colts. But I'm with you on the under. I'll take you on the under.
okay, so I've got you down for Rams and under, and I like Jags.
And just so everybody knows, next week, whoever the loser is, we got a surprise for you. We'll have some kind of punishment. You guys can comment what you think that should be, as long as it's in the realm of reality.
Yeah,
If it's Foffman kissing a girl, don't put it down. He won't do it.
can't, not allowed actually.
All right, Bears Saints. We got the Bears at minus 4.5. Total 46.5. What's your take?
So this line's moved down a point, came out as Bears 5.5 and moved down a singular point.
High
Bit
spread.
tricky
High spread.
one. I definitely think the Bears are a bit more solid than the Saints. However, even though the Saints record is 1-5, they've been just about in every single game they've played, including when they went at Buffalo and almost beat the Buffalo Bills. And Chicago's defense is putrid. They're really, really bad. So I'm actually going to take the Saints here plus 4.5.
No way you're taking the Saints here.
I am, and I'm also going to take the over 46.5.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go back to the last game. Give me the over.
Okay, when's
And
that?
on the Bears Saints, I go back to the Bears embarrassing the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to take the Bears minus 4.5. I like the under here. The Saints aren't going to put any points on the board. So, I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the
Give
Bears.
me the Rattler, dude. Give me the. Come
Give me the
on.
Rattler. We'll pull up the picture of what he looks like. Does he still look like Ellen DeGeneres?
No, you're thinking of the other guy. You're thinking of Taylor. I can't remember that guy's name. I know exactly who you're talking about. The guy that has like the model pics where he looks,
Yeah, well, you know what? You are who you run with. So that them having that guy in the lineup was bad enough. They're all Ellen DeGeneres now.
yeah. But
Give me the Bears.
no, I think the Rattler's been
Stop it.
solid this year. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take.
he's been really solid in letting the other team win.
He hasn't been shut out. Think Caleb's probably a better prospect. Ben Johnson's better offensive mind, but do you know who the New Orleans head coach is?
Tell me, Foff.
Kellen Moore. Do you know who Kellen Moore is?
Oh, yeah.
One of the best OCs
He's
in the
he
country. He's a
is.
baller.
He is. But you're not gonna fire a great weapon if you don't have the ammo. I don't think he's got
No,
the ammo.
this is a rebuild year for them.
It is. And the
100%.
Bears
He's
are making
not
their
even
name.
close to being on the hot seat, but I
Caleb
think,
Williams.
I mean,
No,
they've been
no.
way more competitive this year than they were the last like 3 years. I know
I
it's
feel
kind of
good
hard to
about the
watch a
Bears.
New Orleans Saints game these days, but if you do, they've got some guys. I think they need about 2 more years, maybe
Yeah. Well, I
another
mean,
couple.
they do have Kamara. He's still good. A lot of talks about him being traded, and they got a
Yeah.
lot. So I mean, they got weapons. If Rattler can tighten his boots up, I think it'd be a good game. I'm still taking the under, and I feel pretty good about the Bears here.
Okay. Well, we're on
Let's
opposite sides completely on that one.
let's go Dolphins Browns. You got Dolphins plus 2.5, Browns minus 2.5. Total 35.5.
That's muggy.
That's insulting.
That's a barn burner.
Give me the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins plus 2.5. Give me the over. Tua
I
has does Tua have a concussion? He's playing, but is he good?
Well, we know he's not good, but I will also take the Dolphins plus 2.5. That line has not moved at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me the over.
The over, yeah, I think, man, the total is so low.
I mean,
This is
it's like
almost
if
an
you're watching,
unwatchable game for me, honestly.
they may as well put this one in London.
Yeah, for real. Well, they've been getting all the worst games. I'm going
Well,
to take
that's
the
what you get.
Dolphins.
That's what you get when you try to increase T tax on us, right? You get a war that you lose, and you get all of our shitty NFL games.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might as well keep Jacksonville over there. That was the other reason why I was
You guys
picking them.
could make
They're
them
they're
the
every
London
year.
Jaguars.
Um, I'm gonna take the under just for shits and giggles. I don't really have a lean on the total there. It's just so low. You have one goofball play, pick six, or punt return, or broken coverage to Waddle. Obviously, they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore, but Waddle is still fast and still a
Yeah, I
great route
think.
runner. I mean,
Well,
you have one play here and you're breaking the over.
I mean, let's talk about the locker room though. To your point, without Tyreek Hill, does the morale boost? And you got to remember last week, I don't know if you saw, Tua called out the whole team.
Yeah.
So I think there was
Then he
probably come to
apologized
Jesus.
the next day. He was like,
Or
"Yeah, it
there's
was just emotions. I shouldn't have said that."
Well, he did. So there's probably a come to Jesus meeting with the whole team. So I think they come out in this game fired up. I think you see a lot of points from the Dolphins here. They want to try to get some respect back.
They need some respect because their coach is about to get fired. Um, you know,
He's a goofball.
and I don't about the morale thing. I mean, Tyreek Hill wasn't even voted a captain this year, so that should tell you something. People did not really like him, honestly, enough to make him
You
a
know what?
captain. I don't think he was a morale guy this year. I think that all the off the field stuff that happened over the summer, that's honestly what breeded into the season and making them not cohesive. The
When your
offense
name
could be
is
the best offense in the world. Looks like shit. Just
when your
does.
name is Tyreek, I beat my wife Hill. It's hard to get a good fan base.
He doesn't have a wife. He's got like 8 baby mamas.
Well, he beats all of them, right? He gets one with the left
Allegedly.
hook. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, let's move on from this stinky game to Patriots, Titans. We want the Titans to lose here, but let's talk about it. New England's favored 6.5. The total is 42.5. What are you thinking here?
Well, this is the old Mike Vrabel revenge bowl here.
Titans
Minus
gonna come out
six and a
fired up too.
half is usually when I see that I like to take the points. And I think I am going to take the points with the Tennessee Titans. I think Patriots still win, but I think Tennessee somehow holds this within a touchdown. Give me Tennessee plus 6.5, and also give me the under 42.5.
I'm gonna go against the grain here. Give me the Patriots. Drake May looks amazing.
He does.
Looks really good in fantasy, scoring a lot of points. Like you said, it's Vrabel against the Titans. I think the Titans come out with a chip on their shoulder, but the Patriots, they did their work on the Bills. I think they look good. I think they look good. Give me the Patriots minus 6.5. Give me the over. Raiders Chiefs. This will be an ugly game. I think this is going to be dropping elbows, throwing punches. I think there's going to be a lot of personal fouls here. Wish we could do the over under on that. But the spread, KC
Probably
minus
can
11 and a
somewhere.
half. Yeah, Kalshi sponsor us.
I hate those
Spread,
ads. The
KC
worst.
minus 11.5, total 45.5. What are you taking?
Yeah, Vegas, man, they have really like Geno Smith has looked really, really bad. And I don't think he's as bad as he's looked, but I really do think their O line is putrid. I mean, he is getting hit behind the line as much as anybody in the league as a rookie. I do think Pete Carroll wants to pound the rock with him because that is quite literally, especially with Rashee Rice back and Xavier Word, the only way you're beating the Chiefs now, with them being fully loaded, is being able to run the ball, hold the ball, and keep time possession and keep that guy, Pat Mahomes, on the bench.
Yeah. Well,
It's going to be tough to do with Chris Jones in the middle at nose tackle, but I'm
if
going to
he's
take
not
the
picking his
Raiders
nose,
plus 11.5, and I'm also going to take the under again.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I like the Raiders going under here, plus 11.5. I don't think the points go very high. I think this is going to be a defensive game. The Chiefs coming off a pretty emotional win. I don't think they're going to come in fired up. They're a very emotional team. They're pretty driven by their emotions.
Yeah, and even though that they have Chris Jones, their defenses looked very gettable this year. They still have the same D coordinator,
Yep.
Steve
Spagnola.
Spagnuolo. He's a
Yep.
he's a genius, but you still have to have the players. And Trevor Lawrence's best game this year was against Kansas City. They have not been very locked down this year so far. Even the Giants, scored some points on them.
Got to be swift.
Again,
They
I
got to be
don't think
swift.
Geno's been very good. They don't have a lot of good receivers to get a lot of separation, but if they're able to run the ball, anything
Whoa.
can happen. You got Max Crosby on the other side. He makes a play or two, changes
You're
that game.
forgetting about Tucker. He's heavily slept on.
He's a fast guy.
Tucker's good. Tucker's good. And the Chiefs, Spagnuolo is known for his blitzes.
Yeah,
Quick outs
which
to Tucker. I think Tucker is going to be a prime target. I don't know. I like the Raiders here.
yeah, I mean, if they're going to blitz Geno, that should be. I mean, he's been around the league long enough to be able to pick that shit up. But I don't think Trey Tucker's the guy that he's going to throw a hot route to on blitz. I think Trey Tucker's deep ball guy. It's like Rashid Shaheed in New Orleans or Calvin Austin for Pittsburgh. Uh, he's a gadget guy. I think what's his Jacoby Myers could look at. I think at some point the rookie they've got, Deontay Thornton's going to start getting some more run. He's honestly their best built receiver. He's just a rookie, and Pete Carroll's old school, so he's not going to give the rookies a lot of run except Genty. I mean, that's what they drafted him for. I think they'll do enough. I mean, you've got almost 2 touchdowns here, and unless the Chiefs just blow them out of the water in the first half, I think you can keep it within these 2-score ball games. So
Let's move on. Eagles, Vikings. Eagles minus 2.5. We got the total at 43.5.
Eagles, Vikings. It's an interesting game here. The line has actually moved up a point in Philly's favor. Opened up, looks like at 1.5. Now is at 2.5.
1.5's a gimme.
Man, the Eagles just have not looked. I don't think they've played one full game of good football yet. I feel like they've been playing games in halves. They have a good half, they have a bad half. I think Carson Wentz is garbage. However, they still have Justin Jefferson, and their defense could present plenty of problems because they do blitz a ton. They're guarantee Minnesota is going to sell out for the run. So if Jalen Hurts cannot throw the ball well, I could see the Vikings pulling off the upset, and for that reason, I'm going to take Minnesota plus 2.5, and I'm going
Well,
to
let me
take the
remind you,
over 43
yeah,
and a half.
the NFL is very emotional, right? So let me remind you, they lost last week to the Giants, the week before that to the Broncos. So
Oh yeah,
this is a big defining game coming off a 2-game losing streak. Also, a fun fact, last 2 games, the Eagles have put up exactly 17 points in each game.
which is I don't think is going to be enough to win this ball game. So I'm going to take Minnesota plus 2.5, and I'm going to take the over just because I've been taking a lot of unders. Honestly, if this was just I was solo, I'd probably take the under. But I'm going to take the over.
Yep. Give me the Eagles, and
Here we go.
this is a tough one. I'm
You need
torn.
both teams to score at that spread. You need both teams to score basically 2.5 times.
Well, see, Carson Wentz was on the Colts, and he is out of 3 games, right? He'll have 1 game where he looks like a rock star, and then the rest of them he is trash. So you know what? I'm going to take Philly and give me the under. Give me the under.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is a roller coaster quarterback,
Yes, he is. He is. Sometimes he gets confused and throws the ball to the Jaguars on his own red zone.
notorious.
Notorious. So let's lock that in. Let's move on. Panthers, Jets, Carolina,
Another ugly
minus
game.
1.5. And we got the total at 41.5.
So this game has actually shifted over zero. Favorite team has flipped, opened up as the Jets being 1.5 point favorites, and now the Carolina Panthers are 1.5 point favorites on the road to the winless Jets, which is probably why they are now favored because the Jets look terrible in London and haven't won a game yet. With all that being said, I'm going to take the Jets plus one and a
Taking
half.
the Jets. You were just dogging Justin Fields into the ground, and you were
Well,
taking,
Bryce
bro,
Young
you
ain't
owe
that
him an
much better.
apology. You owe him an
Bryce
apology.
Young ain't that much better. I don't think either of them are any good. Both teams are terrible, actually. And you're going to give me a team that's not very good on the road, and I'm getting points as the home team. I don't care if this was like the Alabama Crimson Tide. Like, that's just the Panthers being favored on the road to any team is disgusting, honestly. So I'm going to take the Jets, and I'm also going to take the over 41.5.
Give me the Panthers. Panthers, give me the over. I don't know. The Panthers are looking good. They're three
You
and
think
three. They
so?
don't look great. They don't look great. They don't look great.
I mean, they did blow
They
out
they
Atlanta
don't
at
have
home.
negative 10 passing yards.
But other than that game, which if you watch that game, Atlanta just imploded. They were going all the way down the field, turnover, all the way down the field, turnover, missed field goal. So it was 30-0. In normal
They
circumstances, that game could have been totally flipped.
they
Other than
put
that, I
30
don't think they
points.
played a good game.
They put 30 points up against the Cowboys. They put 27 against the Dolphins.
Terrible defense, terrible defense.
30 against the Falcons, who just beat the Bills.
Did, but they should have lost.
So, uh,
Atlanta tried to give Buffalo that game, and
yeah,
Buffalo was just like, no, we don't want it.
I
You
went
guys can
Josh
have
Allen
it.
investigated on that one. So you know what? Give me the Panthers and give me the over.
Gotcha. I got the Jets and the over.
Um, let's do Giants Broncos. Denver minus 7.5. The total is 40.5. They don't believe in Scatterboo. They don't.
I am definitely taking Denver minus 7.5. Line has not moved at all. Now the total has moved down 2.5 points, opened at 42.5 and is now at 40.5. Um, so with the line movement, I'm going to take the under. I don't think the Giants score more than 10 points at most. No Malik Neighbors. Jackson Darts looked okay. But really, what saved him is his running ability as well as Scattaboo. I
Creatine
still am a
brothers.
firm believer in Denver's defense. I think they are the top defense in the league. Maybe minus Cleveland, that's debatable. I don't think they lose to a rookie quarterback. I think they make him look silly, as well as people don't really talk about this a lot. The elevation there in Denver. I don't know if
Yep,
Jackson Dart ever
it's really fun.
played over there when he was at Ole Miss. I don't know if he ever played a game at like BYU or Utah, but if this is your first time playing over there in that elevation, it's a firm advantage for the home team being used to not having all that oxygen. Scattaboo can't run people over, and Jackson Dart can't run people over. I don't think they score the ball. So I'm gonna take Denver minus 7.5, and I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah, I think the over under here stinks a little bit. I like Denver. I don't like them by 7.5. Give me the Giants plus 7.5. Give me the over. I don't feel good about this game. I don't feel good about it. I don't like it.
It's tough when you see Denver. They should have lost to the Jets last week. I mean, they only had
Yeah.
11.
Well, and the Giants have beat the Eagles. That's not saying a lot. They've also have beat the Chargers, which is a really good team. So it just
Home.
depends if they show up. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, there's a big factor, for all the people out there listening that are athletes and have done any training in high elevation climates. It's tough. I mean, you got to train your body. The red blood cell count changes. You can look at getting altitude sickness. It's a very real thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I'm
remember,
sure. I'm sure we'll train.
a lot of Pittsburgh games back in the day when Ryan Clark played for us at safety, and Tomlin wouldn't let him play because he had sickle cell. He was like, I'm not gonna, risk you having to go to the hospital and maybe dying on me because we're playing at high elevation. So it's very serious,
It's a
and
real thing.
it's a real thing. I mean, Talk about baseball, the Colorado Rockies out there. You tap the ball, goes out of the park because there's nothing stopping that ball. There's not enough oxygen, enough air molecules, and so you breathing less.
What are you,
Um,
scientist? Are you scientist or
sort
something?
of,
Physicist?
sort of
Freaking nerd. All right,
educated.
Let's move on to my favorite game of the week. All right, we got the Colts at the Chargers. Chargers. The line is 2.5 for the Chargers, and the total is 48.5 points.
A
You already
lot
know
of
what I'm going to
points.
say, but what do you got? What do you got to say about this one, Buff?
Well, looks like the line has moved 1 point in the favor of the Chargers this week. Opened up at 1.5, now is at 2.5. It's tough to say, but I don't think the Colts losing that building for a second time. Honestly, I think that
It
this is
lost the.
it has been, but I think players remember that. And they're like, oh, we were here 3 weeks ago and we had one. I don't think they're going to let this one go. I'm going to take the Colts plus 2.5.
I do
Chargers
want to
have
let you
issues on the
know.
O line.
You do need to know this. Ashton Dulin, before you lock in your pick, Ashton Dulin has taken the place of Adonai Mitchell the last 2 weeks after his just astronomical mistake of fumbling into the end zone. Ashton Dulin has been rolled out, so there's a very good chance Adonai Mitchell, the one who was walking around behind the huddle, couldn't get his brain straight, will be playing at the same place where he made this mistake. He will likely be starting.
Well, good redemption story for him then. I think there's a lot of points here. I'm going to take the over. I think this is going to be a heavy passing game. And I think the issue for the Chargers is going to be protecting I almost said Josh Allen,
Justin
Justin
Herbert.
Herbert, because they don't have any tackles. Joe Alt is still out. The right tackle is still out. They don't have a left tackle or a right tackle. They got guards playing tackle. So if you guys can, pin your ears back and I think he's going to have to throw a lot in this game. They don't have any running backs either. Their starter is out for the year and the rookie they just drafted is on IR. So they're playing a practice squad guy and another guy out of
Rumo.
Michigan.
Louis Anarumo, very similar to Steve Spagnuolo. He likes to dial up the blitz, likes to change up coverage. I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to take the Colts plus 2.5. I think that's a pretty high total. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I also think if the Colts can manage to make it plus 2.5, that they keep the points down. But it's all about if they get in the backfield. If they can't get in the backfield, Herbert's going to tear them up. Either way, Colts score on almost every drive they have, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Give me the under. Give me the under.
Copy that, partner.
Huge game. Guy can't,
Big
you
fringe
won't
game
talk.
for both teams. I
It,
mean, the
it, it,
Chargers are like, if they lose again, they're not even going to have the lead in the division. Chiefs will
well, and
have
the
it
Colts are
already.
being told we're pretenders, right? Colts are being said they're pretenders. They've only beaten bad teams. Arguably, they should be. I'm going to say this until the end of the year. They should be 6-0 if Adonai Mitchell doesn't fumble that ball. This is a defining game. This game will either louden the haters and they're going to say the Colts are pretenders, and this will solidify that thought, or they win and everyone says, "Holy shit, the Colts are for real,
Yeah.
guys."
Yeah,
So
and this
huge,
and
huge
again,
game.
this is a big game for the Chargers too. They're
Yeah,
four and
defining.
two
It's a
now.
it's
If
a
they
it's a
lose
season
again,
defining game.
yeah. I mean the Chiefs 3 weeks ago, people were saying they were already dead. The Chargers are 3-0, 3-0 in division. Well, now they're only one game back. So yeah, it's a big game for both teams. I think the Colts have a little bit more wiggle room in their division than the Chargers do. However, if you guys want to go after the number one seed, I think this is a gettable game that definitely helps out a ton in the tiebreakers at the end of the year. If you do have the same record as another team for that bye, but yeah, I like a shootout here. I think there's gonna be a lot of fireworks. I think there's gonna be a lot of throwing.
I'd like to point out the Chargers lost to the Giants, 21-18.
They did. That was their first
And the
dud in New
Commanders.
York.
When they played the Commanders, was Daniels healthy or was Mariota playing?
No, Daniels, and that was the Chargers choked that game. They were up, I think, like by 13 points or 10 points in second quarter, third quarter, and then yeah, Daniels put on his cape and scored like 24 unanswered, blew him out.
That's my fantasy quarterback. Shout out to my boy. All right. Commanders, Cowboys. Cowboys, I want to tell you that my wife has told me repeatedly, don't pick the Cowboys. And every time I pick them, I've been burnt. So I'm going off through intuition here. I'll tell you what my pick is here in a second. But again, Dallas minus 1.5, totals 54.5. That, no way. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you wouldn't mind, if you have the injury report pulled up, this line has moved a lot more than any other game. So I don't know if maybe McLaurin is still out or Debo maybe is not gonna play, or
I've got it pulled up here.
because it started out as Washington -2.5. Now it's totally flipped. Dallas is favored by 1.5. So that is a whole 3 points, which usually means an important player is out.
Looking at the Commanders, you've got cornerback out, guard out, D end questionable, tight end questionable, receiver Debo, and McLaurin. I think this is the biggest one. McLaurin has been ruled out. That's
Okay, so
probably the
that
biggest.
is it's the McLaurin, which he has not played the last 3 weeks. He's barely played at all this year. Been kind of upsetting. Thought he was going to kind of have a breakout year because he wants to get a contract. Um, that being said, since this line has moved so much, I'm going to take Washington +1.5. Normally, my betting mind would say line moves that much, take the Cowboys, but I don't
Hang on,
think
let
they
me let me
deserve to
let me
be
help you.
favored.
Let me help you here. If you recall, Trayvon Diggs is out with the mystery concussion.
Yeah.
Their star cornerback.
Well, and that to me, that is, I mean, it's a big deal for the Cowboys as far as this game in particular. If McLaurin's not going to play, Washington really doesn't
Kind
have
of a
any
wash.
receivers
Yeah.
that make that much sense. They don't have any speed guys. They just don't. And they are running back by committee because their first two running backs, they traded one. The other one got hurt for the whole year. All their entire game is based around Jaden Daniels right now. He's got to put his cape on, run around, find people. They're not, I don't think, are going to be able to throw the deep ball very often in this game. I think that's probably why the spread has moved so much because there is belief in Dallas's offense. Their defense is putrid, but there's belief because Dak has played so well this year. And Washington's defense is just average. They don't get a ton of pressure. They're just kind of middle of the road, keep things in front of them. But you can usually run the ball on them. Dallas doesn't like to do that because they've got Javonte Williams back there. But just out of pure, I think Washington's a better team. I could totally see Dallas winning this game. But for these picks, I'm going to take Washington. I like them as a team better. So that's Washington. And then I'm also going to take the over because I don't think either defenses can stop one another. Even though it's
Yep. I'm
54.5, that should tell you something.
that's I mean that's a lot. So and you're taking the over?
I am.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with my wife's intuition here. Anytime I bet on the Cowboys, I've been burned, and I'm not gonna get burned again. I'm going Washington. I'm going with the under. I don't have faith in Dak Prescott. Most people don't. Poorly ran operation. I think the Commanders are an up and coming team. They looked pretty good last year. I think this year, not so much an identity year, but they want to keep riding that momentum. So give me Washington. Give me the under.
It's a big game for both teams. I mean, obviously it's a division game, but Dak's like, I think he's third or fourth in MVP voting right now. So if he comes out and has another spectacular game, I mean,
God.
I don't think he deserved. I mean,
Who is
ever
this?
has
Is
deserved any
this is
recognition
this
like that.
Pro
But
Football Focus? Is this Pro Football Focus? Are
no, that's
they
just
are they
betting
deciding
odds.
MVP? Oh my god. All right, let's move on. Packers, Cardinals, Green Bay favored 7.5, and the total is at 44.5. What say you, Faffy Moon?
I think this is a beatdown. Green Bay is going to come out fired up. Their
How
offense
can
has
you
not looked.
how can you say that? They didn't beat down on the Bengals.
I know
Everyone thought they were going to beat down on the Bengals, and the Bengals held their own.
they did, and that's
And
because
that
they
was
have
the
Joey
first game.
Flacco.
Flacco still didn't know the offense. Flacco is still learning
Doesn't
the
matter.
offense.
It's Joey Flacco, Super Bowl MVP. He's seen every defense there
Didn't
is.
know the offense. Didn't know the
Didn't
offense.
need to. He didn't know
Cardinals,
the offense this
Packers
week
couldn't
and
hold him back.
put up
Packers couldn't hold him back.
33. He didn't know the offense this week. Look, the Cardinals have nobody that can block Micah.
Well, and I'm going to pull up the injury report because the other thing, Kyler Murray might still be
He
out.
might come back. I don't
He's
think Kyler
questionable.
Murray's good at all. I don't think that helps him. If he's playing back there,
Honestly, Brissett looked really good last week against the Colts.
he did, and at least Brissett can see over the damn line. Kyler can't throw the ball in the middle of the field because he can't see anybody. Literally every time it's a shotgun snap, they don't do anything under center. It's because
Yeah,
they
but I
can't
bet you
see.
wouldn't play him. Bet you wouldn't play him solo dolo in Call of Duty.
No, I wouldn't. He'd probably beat my. Yeah, no, I have no chance. Very good. And his contract, he's so good.
It's in his contract. He's so good. Call
Yeah.
of Duty Murray.
So I'm gonna take Green Bay minus 7.5 here. And I'm gonna take the under. I think this is a blowout. I think Green Bay wins like 30-10. I mean, it's like not even close. Arizona's they've got issues. They need a quarterback. Marvin Harrison has not worked out so far. They need receivers. They also have had the injury bug at running back. They're playing with their third and fourth string running back, and their defense has never been spectacular.
Yeah,
It's only
but
been middle of the road.
7.5 is a lot of points. 7.5 is a lot of
It
points
is,
in the
but I
NFL.
think we're totally in totally different
So
classes here. I don't think
I don't agree. I don't agree. I think Brissett elevates them if Murray's out. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Cardinals, and I'm gonna take the under. All right, we are getting tight on time, folks. We're gonna try to zip through the rest of these games. Falcons 49ers. Niners favored 2.5 points. The total is 47.5.
Niners Sunday night football. So
Is
this line has
Purdy
actually moved in
is
Atlanta's
Purdy
favor.
playing?
Do what?
Is Purdy playing? Is he healthy? I don't see him on here.
I
Hang on.
believe he is coming back this week. Let me make sure. Brock Purdy, which I also don't think makes much of a difference. However, no,
I thought
Purdy's
Kittle
out.
was coming back.
Purdy is out, but George Kittle is playing.
Yeah. Okay. That's big.
Yeah,
Getting Kittle
I'm
back.
I'm taking I'm taking the Niners at home. I don't think the Niners are that great, to be quite honest with you, with all their injuries. No Fred
You're
Warner.
taking the Niners?
Yeah, I am.
Bro, did you forget what the Falcons just did to the Bills?
I know, and that's why I'm taking the Niners. They're going to be on their high horse. They're going all the way across the country. It's a night game. The time thing's not going to be as much of an issue for them. But I think coming off that huge win and then
Two and a
playing
half?
another night game, another standalone game, they haven't really played two good games in a row. Their last home game, they got shut out by the Carolina, or last road game, they got shut out by the Carolina Panthers by 30. I
Telling
certainly
you,
think the Niners are better than they are.
back to our picks on the Panthers. I think the Panthers are slept on, and I think that Bijan is warming up. He's doing really good this season. Caffrey's probably going to break his leg this game. Kittle's back. You know what? And I think this game's going to be decided by a field goal. And I think that field goal is going to close the gap. I don't think the Falcons are going to win 100%, but I will say that I'm going to pick the Falcons plus 2.5. I don't feel good about the over under on the score here, but give me
Yeah, I'm
the
taking
under.
the under, by the way. I don't know
Yep.
if I said that.
Yeah, give me the under. All right, moving right along. This will be a fireworks show
Ooh.
at the Lions.
Yeah, this is my
The
play of the
Lions
week.
are favored by 5.5 points, and the total is 52.5. So Vegas thinks it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout. You know it's going to be a shootout. What say you, Fathy Moon?
So this is actually earlier on in the week. I kind of deemed it my favorite play on the docket. I might turn some heads here, but I love Tampa plus 5.5. I think they may win
Me too.
outright. The Lions are obviously a very good team,
Yes.
but where their biggest hole is, they have no corners. I think they're starting four corners, maybe five are out. They're literally playing no names on corners. And I know Egbuka is probably not going to play.
Big Boo.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
Big
Gronk.
Boo.
Big
Shout
Boo,
out
Boo,
Gronk.
Boo. Ibuka. The G is silent,
Yeah.
by the way. It's Ibuka.
It's not Egbuka. It's just Abuka.
No. Yeah, he
What a
actually came out
weirdo.
on a podcast and clarified that. I think he was a little salty with Gronk. They did a one-on-one interview, and he said it is Ibuka.
Well, Gronk has three brains, so we can't give him too much.
Yep, that'll
Yeah,
be
I
Scotty
I
Boat.
like Tampa here because even though Ibuka may not play, they're getting Mike Evans back this week. Chris Godwin's going to have a second week of practice,
Huge.
and I'm a firm believer in Baker. That guy's a dog.
He is. He is.
He's 3-0 on the road this year, and like I said, with the
But
Lions not having any
but
corners,
hold up. But
I think he has a lot of success.
the Lions are 2-0 at home as well.
Who have they played? Nobody.
They yeah, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Bears.
Nobody.
Yep. All right. I'm with you. Give me Tampa Bay plus 5.5, and give me the over. I think this is just going to be a shootout.
Yep, I am the exact same.
This next game I feel like is a no-brainer. We'll see what you have to say. Texans Seahawks. Seattle is favored minus 3.5. Totals at 41.5.
Yeah, so this moved a point in Seattle's favor here. This is a really tricky game for me. I think the easy pick is definitely Seattle because they're at home. It's a night game. Crowd's gonna be and they're gonna be bumping. 12th man's gonna be
Yep.
going.
Well, and they still have a great defense. The Texans a little bit better, but they still haven't answered the questions on the offensive line.
No, they haven't. The offense has not gotten going yet. It really has not. I think if they could figure out how to run the damn ball, that would help out a little bit.
Run the damn ball.
But they've got Nico. They drafted Jaden Higgins, who hasn't, you know,
Doesn't
CJ can't
doesn't
get the
matter.
ball to anybody, so it's hard
Yeah,
to
doesn't matter.
evaluate.
If you can't block, it doesn't matter. I mean, you look at the Colts, right? The Colts have one of the highest rated offensive lines, and you look at Jones back the Giants, terrible offensive line. If you don't have a good offensive line, you can be Tom Brady and you're going to look like shit.
Yeah. So even though this
Hard truth.
line has moved up to 3.5, it's kind of juiced. So really the real
I'd lock it
line
in.
is like 3, but I'm still gonna take Seattle. I'm gonna take the safe pick. I might get burned on it. I just don't have a really large lean. I think both of these teams have yet to kind of show their best on the field. Seattle lost last week in a heartbreaker at home to Tampa. I don't think they lose 2 home games in a row. However, I
No,
would
and
not be surprised if this is a coming
Tampa's
out
good.
party for Nico somehow.
No, I think that this is same old Texans. I think they get embarrassed by the Seattle defense. I think the Seahawks, I think Sam Darnold runs all over them. I think this is a no-brainer. If people want to take a safer play, you can play alternate spread. But I think no matter what, Seattle comes out ahead here, minus 3.5. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the total. I feel like that's a low total. I'm going to take the over just because of how close it is to 40. Most games break that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take the over as well. Normally on this 41.5 line, I would take the under because it's juiced at minus 115. Um, yeah, it's a night game. We've seen a lot of points in these night games for whatever reason. So I'm gonna bank on that and take the over as well.
so
And
with
that
that,
that's the last, believe.
let's move on to uh, fantasy corner. We can cover some quick prop bets, and then we will wrap up with some off the field drama. Do you have any prop bets that you've picked out? Uh, I've got a list that I
Um,
like. I like Patrick Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns. Uh, I feel good about that against the Raiders.
Yeah, not gonna lie to you guys on this show. I haven't done a whole lot of exact prop research, but if you give me a couple lines, I could definitely tell you how I lean. What's the
I've got a
line?
couple I can rattle off.
Yeah. What do you got? And I'll tell you if I lean the same side as you do.
Let's go Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown score against the Vikings.
Probably a safe bet for any game. Although I'm not taking it because of the tush push. You usually bank on running backs getting touchdowns because they get goal
Yeah,
line touches. Their team
and
they don't do that.
He's been shut down a lot this year. He's not as explosive as
I'd say
last year,
Hurts
but
anytime touchdowns better than Saquon, but the prods probably reflect that as well. I bet he's higher.
I think he breaks a run. I think he breaks a run open. I feel good about it. I think one touchdown is probably a safe bet for Saquon.
Yeah, I'm honestly, if I don't know what his rushing yardage is, if it's like more than like 85, I'm definitely taking the under. I think the Vikings sell out to stop the run, try to make Jalen Hurts throw on them because that's what he's
Lots.
shown that he can't do so far, apparently.
So we got one for the Chargers versus the Colts. Jonathan Taylor. I love Taylor, as you can tell. They got him over 8.5, 89.5 rush yards.
That to
The
me,
Chargers
that's a
defense is
game script
vulnerable.
line. If you think the Colts are going to be leading the majority of that game, maybe take the over there. I'm definitely on the under. I think they're going to have to throw the ball here. I think both teams are going to be throwing a lot. So I almost,
I
like
think, yeah,
Jonathan Taylor, like check down receiving yards or like receptions maybe would be, if he's like over like 3.5 or something like that. Uh,
Well, the Chargers defense statistically is vulnerable to the run. Colts are the number one team in play action usage, which I think keeps the Chargers on their toes. I wouldn't bet the farm on this, but give me the over.
I'll come back next week with a lot more prop plays and be a little more prepared on that. I was kind of just thinking picking the games. I mean, I just don't know
Good.
I
I
don't
got I
have the
got some
numbers
more.
in front of me.
Yeah, this flow works. Alvin Kamara over 46.5 rush yards against the Bears. That seems pretty low.
It does. Uh, Bears defense is very putrid. Kamara's been kind of a weird, I think he's been in trade talks, honestly, because his
He is
usage rate has gone way down. They've been doing a
a lot of
lot of
drama.
committee stuff.
Yep.
I mean, he's
Yep. A lot
definitely
of
still the
drama.
lead back, but it's more of like a 60-40 thing instead of him being on the field, 80, 90% of the time. And so for that, I don't really like taking his rushing props ever. I like him more as a receiver out of the backfield. I really do.
He's a good receiving back.
Yeah. So another
I'm
one, I
taking the
think I
over.
would take receptions or receiving yards instead of taking rushing yards, but that's just my personal preference, just as a game script thing. If you think it's going to, especially, if you like the Bears in that game, the Saints aren't going to have many rushing opportunities if they're behind. They're going to be throwing, throwing, throwing. And again, Kellen Moore is head coach now, which historically throw, 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 throw. He's a route concept guy. He's from the Shanahan tree, I believe. Yeah, because he was under McVay. I like receiving props in that game as a whole. Even on the other side, DeAndre Swift, Caleb Roma Dunze, any of those guys. I like the receiving props way more than I like the rushing props.
Well, here I got one for you. This is a good one. Kenneth Walker over under on the 90 yards combined rushing and receiving.
Under. I mean, I'm staying away from Seattle running back room because they are
He's
completely
got
split
the
right
it's
now. Him and
well, it's
Charbonnet are
mixed in
splitting,
with passing.
splitting.
That's true. That's true.
And it is
I'm
literally
going
that
under.
one's more of a 50-50 than Kamara and the other guy this
Did
week.
Metcalf get a touchdown? I don't think he did.
No.
Yeah, well, that was an anytime touchdown score. I probably would have said no on that.
Could have had one on that Hail Mary if he would have gotten the end zone instead of being a little peon. I don't know if they didn't think Rodgers could make it there, but they were not in position on that Hail Mary.
Some fantasy standouts: Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Dallas Goedert, Kamini Vidal, Jared Goff. All solid picks. Keep your eye on them.
Yeah, man. Jamar Chase, yeah, he has historical most receptions ever by a Cincinnati wide receiver of all time, which was his record before already. So he broke his own record, had 23 targets. 23. Some teams don't even pass the ball 23 times, let alone target one receiver.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
I can't believe how
We
that game ended up.
we'll see if we can pull up the picture of Flacco whenever he couldn't believe Chase dropped that
Yeah. Yeah, that
perfectly.
guy, what's wrong with
Yeah,
him?
he's just not used to the ball is being thrown perfectly, man. He doesn't know what to catch. He doesn't know how to catch it. All right, let's close up here with some of the headlines. Brian Branch suspended for post game ball. That everybody saw the replays. Pretty egregious. A lot of people saying he's doing the Lord's work. The Kansas City
Nobody likes
pretty
Juju.
dirty. Yeah, yeah. So he is suspended. I don't see. It
Another
looks like
person
it's
in
a
the
one
secondary
one
down for the
game.
Lions, you know?
Yeah, it's a one game suspension, which I feel like yeah, yeah, he had it coming, but it's the NFL. We got people watching, a lot of kids, a lot of families. I think they should have made a point out of this. The game was still going technically. I believe the clock was winding down if it wasn't already. I think they should have made this 3 games at least.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say on that. I mean,
He appeals, and a lot of people are with us that he got off easy here. He is appealing the suspension, which if I was him, I would take the 1 game suspension and run. I think that he messes up here. He appeals it. They approve the appeal, and they give him more games.
yeah, I don't think they're going to give him more games. I mean, for one, it's the Chiefs. NFL loves, no, Brian Branch. So we're talking about the Lions.
Yeah, yep, he's on the line. But again, the NFL loves the Chiefs,
Yeah.
right? And so you're hurting our babies. we're gonna make an example out of you,
Yeah, well,
hurting
I think
Juju.
what made it worse was it was after the game. I think if that happens when the game is going on, there's still time on the
I
clock.
thought
That's
the
just a
game was
penalty.
still winding down. Let me look.
No, that was after the game. Like Mahomes was gonna dap dude up, and he didn't want to
But there was
dap
still
up.
time on the clock. There was still like the clock was running
Talking
out.
about when he pulled his helmet down and there was a little brawl. That's what we're
No,
talking
like
about.
so at the end, at the very end of the game,
Yeah, that was after the
Mahomes
game.
goes to right, but I think there was time,
No,
like 30
no, that was
seconds.
after the game. The cameramen were coming on the field doing about to do interviews, and that's when that whole thing started, which was why it was a big deal because you've got all these people that aren't NFL players potentially going to get hurt because there's this big scrum that he caused. It was really the after
You're right.
effect of
The
why I think
clock
he
was
got
on. The
punished. I
clock
don't think it was the act of him pulling it down. I think it was what that caused was why he got punished because you've got all these people that could have sued if they got hurt.
So also, I want to point out something before we move on. I was very upset. This is some new drama, old drama. The player who hit our kicker, he's a no-name player from the Raiders, Dirty Raiders. You know, they used to be cool. They played unsportsmanlike, but they would win. They just suck and still play unsportsman. So they're losers. Either way, the guy who took out our kicker, it was intentional. They have fined him. That player has been fined. Carly Ursay came out and made a statement. If you're going to fine a player, for doing something egregious, you fine him more than $5,000. He only got fined $5,000 in the NFL. Not even a slap on the wrist. Very disappointing. Kickers out for the season. Could be season ending
And
or a lot of ligament.
that could be a big deal for you guys if the guy you brought in doesn't,
He missed an extra point first game. He's not good.
yeah. So that could be a big deal and something I didn't even think about for the game
Yep.
this weekend. If it comes down to
Yeah.
a field goal, that might be a big deal.
If it comes down, so he's I don't know, man. He missed an extra point, so that's something everybody should watch out for.
Yeah. A lot of guys have been missing extra. I mean, how many kicks have
Yeah,
been blocked this year? It's quite ridiculous. I think practice has to be something to do with, being ready in practice, how they're not practicing full pads and all these rules on how many days. And I haven't seen so many egregious field goals ever my entire life. I mean, every kick, no matter how far it's been, you have to watch. I mean, I don't know how they've been able to not block anybody this year. It's been egregious.
let's move on to the next story of the week. So Trayvon Diggs out for week 7 after mystery accident. This is what all the talking heads are dubbing it. It's a mystery accident. We got a quote here. Trayvon Diggs came in this morning with some concussion symptoms after leaving an accident at his home. He's been checked out by all doctors. He's in protocol and will miss the game. No one knows what's happened. We're still gathering information.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
we'll
being
have
dubbed a
more
mystery.
info by next week's show, and we will definitely report on that because I'm sure if it's come out as a mystery, I'm sure it's something absolutely ridiculous. Either an
Something on the high
accident or
heels.
maybe, somebody hit him upside the head. I mean, who knows? But definitely that story is going to come out. There's no way people are going to, it's the Cowboys that someone will find out. They're way too public to keep that quiet.
Yep. And, we move on. Rasheed Rice. This is going to be the last one we cover. Rasheed Rice returns to Kansas City Chiefs lineup. I want to say that I think the Chiefs had a lot of their players had the shirt that said "Free Rasheed." I think that's in very poor taste. He wasn't
The
injured.
Chiefs, man, all they care about is football. They beat up whoever you want, be a criminal.
Yeah, and that's what it boiled down to is a criminal act, right? And I think it's in poor taste. I think it's in poor taste.
Yeah, they don't care. They've had Kareem Hunt on their team for like 5 years. They've brought him back like 3 times. He's, you know, had multiple domestics.
Yep. So shame on you, Chiefs. This is not a good look for you. Not a good look. So we'll be back next week. We'll be back with one of us, a loser, based off our picks. Please comment below what the punishment should be.
Yeah, tell us, obviously how our picks are, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. If you want to throw in your best bets of the week, feel free to share and we'll go through and see what people have. And before we get out of here, I didn't talk about this at all, but shout out Shohei Gohtani for all you baseball fans. Last night, Dodgers making it to the World Series off of 3 home runs by Shohei. Greatest baseball player to ever step foot on the diamond. Shout out him. So see if they can ruin baseball, as they say. With the Dodgers having a $900 million squad, they should be winning as much as they are. But Yeah, we'll see if they can
When you
get it
pay your
done.
team that much, you either embarrass yourself from the money or you make it known. So, again, thanks everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next week.